when we created our values, one of the things that I wanted to stand firm on is that I myself have to live and breathe those values. And I can't dismiss the exercises we went through and all that work we went through to kind of really hone in on the values. So if we're not living and breathing these values, they're just words. They mean nothing. And I think that's the problem with a lot of these big enterprise. They have values, they're written.
They're always transparency, and then like nobody knows what's going on.
Nobody knows what's going on, and it's like you need to live and breathe them, and you need to be called out on them when you're not living and breathe them, and you need to accept the fact that your staff should be allowed to call you out, regardless of title.
Right.
And if one of our values, if we want to be treated like humans, and we're treating people like robots, somebody needs to be called the fuck out. And it has to be management or leadership or whatever, the top. You got to call that person out, and you can't be fearful of calling them out. The problem is in these big enterprises, they're fearful because they're going to lose their job, which is, of course, most of the time.
It's like a power dynamic thing. Like you just
huge
can't.
Power dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like a value like being against hustle culture is really it's anti-entrepreneur, right? Like it's like a little bit, it's against the grain. You know what I mean? And I think with something like this value in particular, you have to lead by example so frequently. Otherwise people don't believe you.
For sure.
Like, you might be putting it out there like one of those empty values, and everyone in terms of staff needs to see like, is George doing this? Is leadership actually doing this? Or are they like joking around? Yeah, because as soon as like you're like, okay, like let's take this flexibility seriously, and like they get in trouble for it, like it does have to come from the top, right?
I think so. I think it has to come from, it can't just be words on a screen. It cannot be. It has to be lived, and it has to be respected across the board. And again, there are moments, there's no doubt that there are times where I will work on a weekend because I've got deliverables that I committed to. So I put that pressure on myself. And that's okay. I did that. But I will not insist that somebody else needs to do that same thing. Now you may say, you know what, I'm going to put in some time on the weekend. I don't need to tell the whole world, but I just want to feel like I get this done.
Yeah.
That's your decision.
Yeah, I do it very secretly.
Well, it shouldn't be forced upon you. Because that would go against the values that you've defined, right? So it's complicated, but I think the non-complicated part is just being truthful to the values. Like you wrote them down, live and breathe them, respect them, and respect that other people have come to the organization because we have made that declaration. It's on our website. It is public. So when we're attracting new potential colleagues of ours, much like you, who didn't know what our values were and asked, now they know. So if they come in and they trust you, they are taking that leap of faith to come to your organization because you've declared these values, and then you are a hypocrite and you go against everything you've positioned yourself as. That's fucking terrible.
That's all there is to it. It's just terrible.
It's fucking terrible. If you like what you saw today, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, like the video. We look forward to hearing from you.